It is almost 12 o'clock. I didn't know if I should have said good morning, good afternoon, or what have you. But guys, guess what? It is the Sinners Oscar recap show at the Yasmin Breakdown. So welcome in, everybody. It is 12 noon. I'm trying something new today, which is our 12 noon show. I hope everybody is doing great. I am going to see if I can get on with my with the chat. So how is everybody doing today? My name is Yasmin Shiraz, and you have reached, if you're looking and you're watching and listening to the sound of my voice, you are watching the Yasmin Breakdown, and I am Yasmin Shiraz. And today we are going to do a Sinners Oscar recap. I am going to be sharing with you why this was such a powerful moment for Sinners, the movie. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the movie today, who their winners were, why this was so historic. So I'm going to give people a few moments to get in, and I'm going to see if I can get on our chat so that I can monitor, if we can monitor any of our uh chat comments and so forth. So I'm going to see, yes, I see that I'm here, and I see that I can monitor some things. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, boom. Okay, so let me see if it allows me. Can I see anything here? Okay, let me see if it lets me do it. Okay, I can't oh wait, I don't know. Okay, let me just see. Yes, it lets me. Hello, everyone. All right, boom. All right, cool. It allowed me. Hello, good morning. Hello, everybody. I just wanted to let you know I can now do the chat as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. We are talking today about the Oscars, the Sinners recap for everybody who didn't see it. If you know me, you know that I am a TV writer, film writer, producer. And ever since Ryan Coogler came in the scene, I have been an avid supporter of his, an avid fan of his. And so people want to know, first of all, like, how many Oscars did Sinners win? Sinners won 4 Oscars. In the thumbnail for this particular show, in the thumbnail, I have their 4 Oscar winners, and we're going to talk about what were the Oscars today in this particular show. Um, but they were nominated for 16 Oscars. That is the most in the history of the Academy that a film has ever been awarded. I mean, has ever been nominated. So that is insane. And if you guys don't know what is about, let me just share a little bit about the movie itself. I actually rewatched the movie with my son this weekend on Friday night, and I said, listen, I know you were in college when it came out, you didn't see it, but you know what? We got to see it now. And so Sinners is an interesting take on the vampire movie. If you watch vampire movies, and I'm gonna tell you guys, before Twilight, I wasn't watching no vampire movies, okay? And so with this, I watched this, and it's about these two twins who, these two twin brothers, played adeptly by Michael B. Jordan, and how these two twins decide to open up a juke joint, which is old school term for like a club. And this takes place in Mississippi in 1932. And so these two brothers, they have the liquor and whatever. And so this movie takes a place over the course of a night. And during the night, or during, from the day, they have their liquor, they're getting their guitar player, they're getting their, harmonica player, they're getting all their things together. And they are, of course, buying a location for their juke joint. And somehow, through some twist of fate, some vampires show up at the juke joint. Okay, if you know vampire lore, you know that you have to invite a vampire in. And so I'm not even going to go beyond that. but that's the beginning premise of the movie. But what was so interesting when my son and I were watching the movie on Friday, my son said, is this just one actor? It looks so real. And if you ever see actors playing twins and the editing that is being done for it, it is absolutely beautiful. It was flawless. Smoke and Stack, the brothers that were played by Michael B. Jordan. It was beautiful, beautiful cinematography. It was beautiful, beautiful acting. And so, if you haven't seen it, it is on Prime Video right now. So I want to share that with you today. Yeah, USA Today, I want to just share this. USA Today movie critic Brian Truitt wrote, with Sinners, an inimitable auteur makes the most of every surrealist detail and crafts a fright fest that's musical, meaningful, and mesmerizing, right? That's musical, meaningful, mesmerizing, and memorable. And that really captures this. Sinners was so much more than a vampire movie, and I think that's why it is now the most nominated film by the Academy of all time. And so I just wanted to sort of go into that, and I want to talk a little bit. We talked about, Michael B. Jordan playing both Smoke Snack or the Spoke Stack twins, and I think that the cinematography, they won, the young lady who she's on my cover as well, on my thumbnail, she won for best cinematography. And the reason why I believe she won for best cinematography is because when I tell you the shots, you felt you felt like you was right there transported into 1932. It was just shot just really, really well. The timing, obviously, you contribute a lot of that to your director, but when you are working on set, you and your cinematographer, man, you guys got to be on one page. And there was just so much to the way that it was shot, the pacing, the timing of it, and it was just it was just done so well. And again, when you are shooting one actor who is portraying twins, there is a certain eye, right, that you have to have when you are shooting those shots as well. And so that was something that I just wanted to say as well. And kudos, I'm trying to and kudos to them for that, because it was just absolutely crazy. And it seems like since the movie Get Out, there have been more people who are talking about, there are more people who are talking about horror films, horror films, horror films. But to me, uh he really did his thing. He did his thing with this Ryan Coogler. All right, and so let me just give you the person's name. Yes, I just want to give you her name real fast because yes. So the person who won um was Autumn Durald Arkapaw. She is the person who won for Sinners. And so she's the first woman, okay, to win. She is the first woman to win and first person of color to win the Oscar for Best Cinematography. She is Filipino and African American Creole descent. Okay. And so it's just amazing. And she said, thank you to Ryan Coogler for believing in her and trusting her. And again, you guys, just having representation. Representation matters, right? And so for this, person who is Filipino and African American Creole, it was a powerful win. So I just wanted to give her a shout out, and she thanked Ryan Coogler, you guys, for believing and trusting in her. So I just wanted to share, I wanted to share that, I wanted to share that with you guys as well. And then also, before we get into Michael B. Jordan and also into um Ryan Coogler, they also won for best original score at the Oscars, as well. And Ludwig Goransson won. And this guy, I have just heard so many positive things about this guy as a talent, in terms of just his talent. They're just like, he is just insane in terms of his music and his scoring. And there is this scene in Sinners, and I remember, I believe, Spike Lee talking about this particular scene. And there are people who are, the hip hop people. It's like this, all of this music from different generations has come together at one time. And uh, he had to score that music. It is insane. It is, and for people who are true music lovers, you will hear the different eras of the music that come together. There's some blues in there, for sure. There's like some hip hop in there for sure. There's just like all of these different, sounds and textures to the music. And I bet you he's a person. I bet you, if you were to interview Ludwig, he would say, I see music. Like when he gets up in the day, he probably, like, you see a sunrise, he sees probably CDEFG as notes or something. Because when I tell you, that scene was so complicated, I'm sure, to shoot from a visual standpoint, from a direction standpoint, as well as cinematography. But when you listen to the complexity of the music is no joke. So I just want to also congratulate him. And so, you guys, just to recap, my name is Yasmin Shiraz. You are watching the Yasmin Breakdown on at 12 noon. So I'm just trying a new format for us. And I'm just going over, because it's such a historical movie, Sinners, written and directed by Ryan Coogler. And, so basically led by a black man. It was not nominated for 16 Oscar awards, the most in history. Let me give you, so far, we've gone over two of the Oscars that they've won, and now I'm going to go over the other two that they've won. The first that I've given to you so far, Best Cinematography, they won that. They also won Best Original Score, so they did that. And again, just absolutely beautiful. But let me give you all of the other ones. Let me list to you all the other awards that Sinners was nominated for. Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor for Delroy Lindo, Best Supporting Actress for Wunmi Mosaku, Best Director Ryan Coogler, Best Costume Design, Best Editing, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Best Original Song in the song "I Lied to You," Best Production Design, Best Sound, and also Best Visual Effects and Best Casting. So again, most nominated in history, and that's what's going on. So let's go into right now, and let's get into Ryan Coogler. Let's just rip the band-aid off, right? And let's go into Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler he wins his first Oscar for writing Sinners. But he wrote the first Black Panther movie. I feel like he wrote the second Black Panther movie. you know, he has done some phenomenal work. I mean, man, Wakanda forever. Like, I don't think people will ever, forget that. But he won for his Oscar on Sunday night for best original screenplay for Sinners. Okay. And he's a kid from Oakland. When you hear him talk, you hear the Oakland comes out of him. And he said in his speech that it was an incredible honor. And he just was very grateful. He was grateful for the cast, he was grateful for the crew, everybody who worked with him. And I always appreciate people who do great work, and they have this attitude of gratitude for the people that they're working with, right? The people that also make their work better. And he is certainly that. And he's married, he has 3 children. And he said to his wife, and his wife is a producing partner, and he said to his wife, "You're the best mom in the world. Every day I get to spend with you is better than the one that came before." I love a husband who can appreciate his wife. Was My husband was the same way. But this was something that I wanted to you guys to hold on to, that he said to his songs. I mean, to his songs, to his kids, he said, "And to my babies that are home watching, I apologize for all the time away. Dad loves you. Memories are all we have. I hope I have given you some great ones." And that to me is so poignant and such a strong point, because we do these things in life. We waste a lot of time doing frivolous stuff, wasting time with frivolous people. And what are we doing to make some memories? And so when I said today, well, I had actually said on Saturday I was going to do a recap or a video on Sunday for this. I was like, I want us to have something that we can pull away from these wins. And he is saying to us that, like, memories are all we have, right? So go make some great memories, guys. Like, that's the message. um and he said, and he completed that thought, and he says, "When dad becomes just a memory, I want y'all to remember this one thing: I love y'all more than anything." And so again, what is he telling us? He's telling us family first. He's saying he's family oriented, he's family centered. And so that was something that he said. Now again, he co-wrote Creed, and he co-wrote the Black Panthers movie. Sinners he wrote by himself, and Fruitvale is the other movie that was the first movie that he partnered with Michael B. Jordan, okay? And he landed his first Oscar nomination, Ryan Coogler did, as the producer of the Best Picture nominee, Judas and the Black Messiah. And he was actually in 2023 was among the nominees for writing the Black Panther Wakanda Forever Best Song nominee, Lift Me Up. And that's the song with Rihanna. Oh my God. That was, woo. Every time I hear that song, I just want to cry. It just makes me think of Chadwick Boseman. And so it's a powerful song. Um, but at the same time, it just brings you to your knees if you are a true fan of film and a fan of Chadwick Boseman. And so they had Sinners came into the 2026 Oscars with 16 nominations, the most of any film in history. This is a big deal. And so let's get into our man of the hour, our our Newark native, right? Michael B. Jordan. Okay, let's go ahead and get into that. He wins for Best Actor for Sinners, his first ever Academy Award. And I have to say, you guys, I have to say, seeing him play Smoke and Stack, he was exquisite, okay? There is no, listen, what's the debate? There's no debate, okay? There's no debate. He was absolutely phenomenal in playing Sinners. He's from Newark, New Jersey, East Coast in the house. I grew up in Delaware. He, of course, thanked um, Ryan Coogler in his speech. He said that he called him an amazing person, and said, "I'm so honored to call you a collaborator and a friend. You gave me the opportunity and space for me to be seen. I love you too, bro. Love you to death." And so it's just a very, a powerful, and when you're working with great people, this is the type of feeling and emotion that that exchanges and transpires, because you just are so thankful to be seen. You are thankful. I'm telling y'all, you are thankful to be seen. Now, Jordan also in his speech acknowledged Halle Berry, Black Oscar winners who came before him, Halle Berry, Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington as well. Quoting, and I'm gonna go ahead and quote him, guys. I stand here because of the people who came before me. To be amongst those giants, amongst those greats, amongst my ancestors, amongst my guys. Thank you, everybody in this room and everybody at home, for supporting me over my career. I feel it. You know, I just love this so much because, Hollywood to me, is a place where you are fighting stereotypes. You are fighting, well, do you see me in this role as a woman? Do you see me in this role as a black person? Do you see me in this role as an Asian? Do you see me? You feel me? And so everybody who's basically not white, I feel in a way, has to fight to be seen in non-stereotypical roles, right? And I know a lot of people, may not agree with that, and that's fine. But I think it's the case. And so it's just a fantastic opportunity, and was just a fantastic blessing for Michael B. Jordan. And he joins other black male actors, Jamie Foxx, Will Smith, and also Forrest Whitaker, as well as Sidney Portier and Denzel Washington. He's very family centered. They've talked to him before about like his parents still living with him and he's being older and so forth. But he seems to have a very close family. And guys, I have to say, like, when you see people who are successful, don't be surprised if you see those successful their family supporting them, because it does take a village. And when you're having to, balance trauma and you're trying to balance all this stuff, like, how can you be successful when you're dealing with all the trauma that you're dealing with? So it doesn't surprise me that his brother was there supporting him, that his sister was there supporting him, that his parents were there supporting him. Does not surprise me um at all. And I have seen also, in following Hollywood careers, that some of the most successful people in Hollywood have such an appreciation for their fan bases, have such an appreciation for um the people who are going and buying their tickets. Like they say, oh, Michael Jordan's in something, I'm going to go show up. Like, you see a lot of that, and you can appreciate it. And so he said to his he said he finished his speech with a gratitude for his supporters, saying, thank you for betting on me. I'm going to keep stepping up, and I'm going to keep being the best version of myself that I can be. And you know um I think that when you are a star or you have a public facing job, I think it's really good where you keep striving to become better, better for yourself, better for your fans, better for the people who are looking at your work, for people who might be looking up to you. Excuse me. It becomes a very aspirational career as well, meaning that you're always aspiring to get better. And that's how you become great, by aspiring to get better. And I know, uh, excuse me, with my even with my YouTube channel and wanting to, you know, be synergistic and wanting to be strong and wanting it to, resonate with people, and how can we delve into these topics. Like, I'm doing the same thing of trying to, like, okay, how can I get better? I don't want to just come on and have drivel, but how can I come on and be the best sort of entertainment channel that I can be, and elevate it and be different and not just be the same. And so, everybody, my name is Yasmin Shiraz, and you are watching the Yasmin Breakdown right now. and we just did a recap. We are wrapping our last 5 minutes of our recap where we are talking about the Oscars and Sinners, that was nominated for 16 Academy Awards in 2026, the most of any film in history. It is quite a feat. Came home last night and they won four of those awards. And we are so over at the Yasmin Breakdown. We are tremendously proud of them. Best actor for Michael Jordan, best original screenplay for Ryan Coogler, best cinematography for Autumn Durald Arkapaw, and also best original score for Ludwig Goransson. And so it's just been a blessing to share in that. So if you guys have you seen the Sinners film yet? If not, it is currently on Prime Video. I would love for you guys to see it. And yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up now. We have our last 5 minutes, so if anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm going to just put that in there. Have any questions? Yes. Yes, but it's been a really great thing. And of the two speeches that I quoted from Ryan Coogler, and also Michael B. Jordan, both people having just tremendous gratitude to the people support him. Ryan Coogler supportive, not me appreciative not only to his wife, to his collaborators. You don't get certain places, you don't get there by yourself. So acknowledging other people is a huge, huge, huge deal. It really truly is. Um, and so that's good. Let me see if I can just share with you um um something from Autumn, as I shared with you earlier, who is a Filipino and African American Creole descent. She made history as the first female cinematographer to shoot on IMAX, right, 65 millimeter and ultra panavision for the film, which received a record-breaking 16 nominations. She said, as I shared with you earlier, that she thanked Ryan Coogler for believing in her, but this is a direct quote from her speech. A lot of little girls that look like me will sleep well tonight because they'll want to become cinematographers. This is what we're talking about, guys. Representation matters. Some little Filipino girl saw Sinners, and said, that could be me. That is what we're talking about today. That is why this matters. Let me see if I can pull from Ludwig. Let me see what he had, because I mean, gosh, he is just so talented. I'm telling you. He is talented, man. I wonder, let me just see if I can get you guys a clip right there. Apparently, he did a tribute to his dad, and this is his third Oscar. I didn't even know. So Ludwig Göransson, who also won, and that's what I'm saying. I have heard so many things about this guy, and this is his third Oscar from Sinners. And he says, and listen, let me tell you, and this guy is from Sweden. He said, let me share this with you guys. He said, my dad bought his first blues album in Sweden in 1964. It was a John Lee Hooker album. And even though it was on the other side of the world from a place he'd never been and could not relate to, the music was so powerful that it changed my dad's life, and he devoted his whole life to music. And when I was about 7 years old, a little boy, he put a guitar in my arms. I loved the guitar. It became everything to me. It was the guitar that opened up a lot of doors for me. And it was the guitar that brought me over to the States. And it was the guitar that eventually led me to one of the greatest storytellers of our time, Ryan Coogler. Guys, what else can we say? You all know I have a video that talks about fathers are everything, fathers make a difference. He just talked about how his father gave him a guitar, and how his father bought an album that made him commit to music. You guys, I hope you're listening. And let me just say, he said also, um, thank you for your vision and making a movie that resonated with the whole world. He said that about Ryan Coogler. This guy, I just love this guy. I've heard so many great things about his work ethic and his talent and everything else. It's his third Oscar. If his father is alive, I'm sure his father is just like over the moon thinking like, man, I bought that John Hooker album and now look at my son. So everybody who's watching, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see how often I can do a 12 p.m. noon show. Like, say you're at, having lunch or something like that, and you pop in with me and we do a recap of some sort, because it certainly has been a lot of fun for me. So, everybody continue to have a blessed day. And remember what Ryan Coogler said. He said, it's about making memories. So make some good ones. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. All right, y'all. Peace. That was certainly one to grow on. I'll see you next time.